Welcome everyone to Throwback Gaming's Let's Play of Our Life Beginnings and Always, Part 19. Time to start the DLC for Step 2. So, let's jump into Mall, shall we? Okay, we're at a surf store. Cool. Lee's visit today turned out to be more involved than you expected. After overhearing where the Holden family was going, Lee insisted on seeing Mr. Holden's shop firsthand. Okay, so Mr. Holden sells diving equipment, apparently. Or surf equipment. An hour later, and Lee was busy looking at every item on display. I was wondering what his job was. Because Cove's dad offers supplies, lessons, and tours, his shop had all the scuba-related gears you could imagine. Fins, masks, suits, and snorkels. Okay, so he sells scuba equipment, he does lessons and tours. Interesting. After circling around the shop, you finally stopped and looked at the whole room. This was the first time you've been here too. It wasn't often that you tagged along to hang out at the shop. You spent a lot more time here over the years. We'll say it's the first time because, I mean, I've never seen it before. The mystery was finally gone. Over the years, you heard bits and pieces about what Cove's dad did. From Cove, Derek, and Mr. Holden. And now you were here, standing smack dab in the middle of it. You were bursting with excitement. You were in good spirits. This was a pleasant surprise. You felt okay, not your first choice, but not mad. You were unlucky. Was this really all we were going to do? We'll say it's a surprise. I mean, I think it's a cool shop. Something always came up whenever you had a chance to visit the shop before. You were happy Lee insisted on Mr. Holden bringing you both along today. Lee was still busy poking through the various wetsuits displayed, so you decided to see what Derek and Cove were doing. You haven't seen Derek in a while. They were too absorbed in their conversation to notice you standing near them, laying against the counter. You were able to pick up the topic quickly. He's got pretty eyes. My dad told me that the new stuff is selling like crazy. Yep, the material has this new blend with less neoprene. I don't know what that is. I guess it's a chemical. Or some kind of material. My dad says people are really interested in it. It brought a smile to your face hearing that the shop was doing well. You decided to keep listening. You decided to join in with the conversation. You couldn't resist teasing the boys. Let's keep listening for now. It was interesting just to watch the two of them speak about what they knew, especially since Cove's so quiet usually. But really, there's just so much to think about with the business. It's crazy. No matter how much I come, I still don't think I get it. I guess Derek's dad works with Cove's dad. I think I remember something about that. Cove hummed and nodded in agreement, causing a good-humored laugh from Derek. I thought you only liked the scuba diving part, not the job part. That's just the best part. I think about other things too. I wonder if Cove works here with his dad. Cool, the business side. Running it, that's my favorite. Out of the corner of your eye, you caught movement, and you realized that Lee was now standing next to you. When your dad retire, do you think you guys are going to carry on the store? Both sons shrugged in unison, so that answers our question. There's tons of things I could do. My dad thinks so too. He doesn't want me to plan on working here forever. Okay, I guess they both work here. Interesting. Cove's gaze fell to the floor. You could see the conflict flashing across his face. I don't think he wants to work here. I don't know. It's a lot. Being the real boss of something and totally in charge. If my moms had their own business, I'd take it over. If my mom's had one, I wouldn't want to take it over either. I can't run a business. I wouldn't want to take over someone else's shop either. I want to do my own thing. Then, do you think your dads would let me take over the shop? No matter what you both do, shop or no shop, you'll be amazing. Let's go with this one. Derek smiled in equal parts happiness and bashfulness. He bounced on his feet a bit. Thanks, Jamie. I'm happy you believe in us. Me too. Well, that's good. They both got happy. Cove's parents left the back office and came out, catching your attention. Sorry, kids. It looks like it's going to be a long one. I know usually others hold the fort down, but I really need to stay here today. I know you just wanted a little visit. It'd be boring to get stuck all day because of me. Kyra can take my car and go back to the neighborhood. Cove and Derek gave him an understanding look. Mr. Holden crossed his arms and flashed you all a big smile, trying to lift the mood. The one condition is that someone has to remember to come back for me later. You don't get to strand me here, no matter how funny that might be. I love Mr. Holden. Kyra laughed and gave a thumbs up. Mr. Holden seemed satisfied with that. He moved on with the explanation. Derek, your dad also has his his hands full today, so he doesn't have time to run you back home. That's alright, sir. The title sir got an awkward chuckle out of Cliff, which was cut short when Kyra elbowed him teasingly. You already said I could borrow your car. Why don't I take the kids somewhere fun for the afternoon? That's fine with me. Just please come back eventually. Sometime today, Kyra. After multiple jokes about being left with no ride, you had to wonder if that actually happened in the past together. Probably. It's probably an inside joke. For you, my good sir, I swear, cross my heart. Happy with the promise, Cliff took out his black wallet and offered a 50 bill to Kyra. Here, in case you need gas or anything else while you're out. Kyra smiled knowingly and accepted the bill without hesitation. Thank you. You know, for being divorced, they do act like an old couple. So, I wonder if they end up getting back together. That'd be interesting. Thank you. Cove's dad stuck the wallet into his back pocket while he waved with his free hand. Okay, time for me to jump back into work. Have fun for me. Bye, Dad. Hey, Cove's actually being pleasant today. Bye. Bye, sir. Bye, Mr. Holden. Goodbye, sirs and ma'ams. He left the room with a wink and flare, disappearing into the employees-only area of the shop. When Mr. Holden was out of sight, Kyra silently strolled over to the counter and carefully placed the $50 bill there. She turned back around and beamed a large smile at you and the others. Come on, gang, let's see if this town has a mall. Yes. Unable to contain her excitement, Lee actually jumped with joy, while Cove and Derek just grinned. There wasn't a mall in your hometown, but Mr. Holden's store wasn't in Sunset Bird. It might be possible to find a mall out here. You felt pumped, you felt okay about it, you really didn't want to go there. Sure, let's be pumped. I mean, Lee's excited, the other two grinned. It's probably a big deal since there's no mall in our small town. I bet Elizabeth would be jealous. Heck yeah. Let's go. She quickly herded the group out of the store and into the car. As the driver, I get to pick my partner in crime. Naturally, I bestow the position of shotgun to my baby. Her comment had both Derek and Lee snickering. Cove rolled his eyes at his mom and opened the front passenger door. You decided to stick up for Cove. You decided to jokingly complain about the special treatment. You were fine with that. You kept quiet. We'll be Cove's partner. Cove's not a baby. He can decide whether he wants to sit. Cove ran a hand nervously through his hair. He was in disbelief that you disagree with his parent like that. Jamie, you're right. Cove's not a baby, but he'll always be my baby. A precious baby boy. Kyra turned to Cove. Her expression lit up just by looking at him, and he became even more awkward. I couldn't think of anyone better I want to sit shotgun with me, but if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. I'll love him no matter what. I'm already here. I'll just stay. Cove being the non-confrontational type, like me. He still looked like he wanted to crawl out of his own skin. Unfortunately, your attempt to help backfired. Moms could be tricky that way. I'll take the middle seat. Really? Yeah, I don't want a window seat. You two can have them. Are you cool with that? You thought it was odd that anyone would give up a window seat, but you knew Derek tried to be especially polite when he was a guest. You nodded. Wasn't he a gentleman? Good. Sounds like we're all in agreement. Everyone squeezed into the car, buckling up, and Kyra turned the radio on. She set it to the top 40s pop station. You were into it, you did not like it, you asked if the radio station could be changed. That's fine. Quickly, you recognized the song playing. It was a new one by an artist you were listening to a lot recently. It wasn't long until your group realized that they were lost. Leave it to Kyra to get lost and not come back and get Mr. Holden, right? But after driving in enough circles, Kyra's struggle paid off when she found a local mall. There was more cheers from Lee as Kyra pulled into a parking spot. Friday, sale of 20 to 50% off. That's not bad. Once your group had made it inside, the first order of business on this trip was checking what this mall actually had. Where should we go? And so the fighting begins. Oh, I think I see a map. A makeup store up ahead. Yeah, I'm sure you and maybe Kyra are probably the only ones interested in that. She rolled up on the tip of her toes to get a better view. Meanwhile, Derek was eyeing the dictionary. Or the directory, my bad. There's a chocolate shop. Seriously, we have to go there. Yes, wait. And we need to find a decent jewelry shop. I need new hair ties and barrettes. We also gotta look for a game store. There's tons of things you can't get anywhere but a store that's just for video games. I know, right? What are you thinking, Cove? I want to look at the fish at the pet store. He wants more fish. Sounds right. You could have guessed that much. Anywhere else? He smiled with some bashfulness. Can we go to a camping and outdoor supply store? Yeah, shop. What about you, Jamie? Clothing store, an accessory store, the makeup store, a video game store, the chocolate store, the pet store, camping and outdoor supplies, the food court, a bookstore, a music shop. Let's go to the bookstore. And we can go to the pet store for you. We can go to the game store for you. That's good. That's certainly a list. Good thing we have all afternoon. Guess we'll take turns. Yay! I have my own shops I want to make. Let's agree and regroup here at 7 p.m. Okay, first of all, you do not let a bunch of teenagers run around the mall by themselves without supervision. Someone could get kidnapped. Come on, Kyra. You're not coming with us? We're all in the same building. You won't be as long as you think. I'll only be a few minutes away at most. You're old enough to enjoy the mall without me hovering. Okay. Be back at 7 p.m. Toodaloo. Leaving Derek and Lee stunned by their newfound freedom, Kyra walked off. When she was almost out of sight, Derek's face twisted in confusion. Wow, she's really gone. I can't believe she just did that. This is so cool. We get to do whatever we want. Let's not break anything. We were all happy about it, talking about an amazing opportunity. You felt unsure about the situation. Was this really okay? You felt okay about the situation. You were unhappy with it. This is not what you had in mind. Is it me, or does it feel weird to be at the mall without a parent here? My mom wouldn't have done this. It's not just you. It'll be okay. We're here together. And she's not gone for real. She'll be around somewhere. With the decision already made, Derek tried to pull together his earlier enthusiasm for the trip. So, where are we going first? Time's a wasting. Whatever's closest. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Things were coming together, but you realize there might be a flaw in today's sudden plans. What's wrong, Jamie? Did everyone bring money with them? Yep. I did. I always have some money when I come all the way out here. Oh, we're broke again, aren't we? You had money too, and you left all your money at home. The original plan was only visiting Mr. Holden's shop, or you didn't have enough money. You didn't have any money at all, since you always end up spending it when you got it. I probably didn't bring it. No, I didn't think I needed it. Derek looked at you sympathetically. I can lend you some if you need it. Cove smiled at you reassuringly. You know, I don't mind getting you anything if you want it. Yeah, don't worry, I can get your tab. You can pay me back later. Good friends. You accepted their offers readily. You didn't know if you really needed it. You rejected their offer up front. Sure. Thank you. We're here to have fun, not worry about anything. How often do we get to go to the mall together? Never, basically. It's special. Right, don't feel bad about it. Gotta make sure we pay him back if we get anything, though. Now that everything was squared away, you explored them all together as a group. There were so many shops that you managed to venture into so far. You all went to a bookstore, leaving you with a pep in your step. This was better than you thought, and there was still so much to see. After having hit many a top priority stores, you found yourself passing a small booth. It was decorated with wind chimes of various sizes. You raised a hand up to one of the smaller ones. What sparkled your attention next was Cove. You thought for sure he was going to stop at the booth by the way he looked at it, but he kept going. Do you want one? It wasn't until Lee asked that you realized that you had stopped in front of the booth without saying anything. Lee just continued to encourage you. You should get one. I'm just looking. I don't really like them. You wanted one, but for someone else, or you did want one. They had caught your attention, though it was because it might be a nice gift. You wonder if Lee was planning on becoming a wind chime salesperson since she kept pushing it. I have one like this at home, and it makes the prettiest sound. Can I borrow some money? Of course. Your gaze traveled over to the boys. They were paying you and Lee no mind as they continued along. You were going to get one for yourself and Cove, and you're going to get one for Cove. Let's get one for Cove. I just want to get one for Cove. Can I get that one, please? Lee raised an eyebrow and looked at you for a moment, and then she giggled. All right, one wind chime for Cove. She dug her money out and paid you, a large, mischievous smile across her face. The shopkeeper carefully wrapped your purchase up and handed it back to you in a bag. You accepted and then raced off with Lee to catch up with the boys. For Cove, you had picked out a beautiful wind chime that had a dolphin charm, was a simple design of just silver poles, or had crystal strands. Dolphin. Like our balloons that we got when we were little. You had a feeling he'd appreciate that. After leaving another clothing store, one that Lee couldn't resist exploring, you and your friends found yourself walking down the main hall of the mall again. Oddly enough, Cove started drifting to the side. Hey, where are you going? I want to get a smoothie. Cove turned around, walking back towards to get a video of everyone's reactions. The moment he said smoothie, everyone perked up, remembering there was a popular smoothie place somewhere around here. Is it that yo-yo place? You should have said so sooner. As you approached, your eye was drawn to the dizzying list of smoothie combinations. A party you wondered how long it would take to try them all. More than the time you got here today. Hey there, do you need the rundown of how this works? Yes, please. Okay, first off, you pick up to 3 options of fruit or berries. And then I'll add the ice in the store's special smoothie base mix. And then you'll have your very own smoothie for $4. There's only one size. This doesn't sound bad, as long as the size is reasonable. Cove leaned over the counter a bit. For several moments, he intently studied the plentiful fruit and berry options. I want to get a strawberry banana smoothie with coconut too. That sounds good. Sounds good. Is anyone else getting something? Can I get one that's all mango? Of course. I'd like one with strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for mine. Thanks. The shopkeeper looked at you now. Sure. Could I get a banana, coconut, pineapple, mango, kiwi, peach, orange, apple, blueberry, strawberry, raspberry? Strawberry, banana with coconut. At that point, everyone started fishing out their money out of their pockets. Someone gonna pay for mine, right? Uh-huh. I can get your smoothie, Jamie. I can do that too. I said it first. You have to be faster than that. Cove didn't appreciate her joking tone and took it up as a challenge. Then how much money did you bring? If it's less than what I have, I should be the one who pays. What? Way to be a sore loser. Thank you. Yeah, I need to stop buying stuff with other people's money. I'm gonna cause problems. You, Lee, and Cove turned your heads to see Derek sitting in front of the register. He bypassed everyone and paid for the entire order with a 20 and a smile on his face. The remaining change went to the tip jar. He paid for everyone. Go, Derek, for being the team player. He noticed the audience now, and he had and cocked an eyebrow. What? I could have paid. Thanks. This is why I always have money on me, to take care of things. Go, Derek. Good guy. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's try not to buy anything else so we don't cause any problems. You're welcome. You waited over at the other side of the booth where the drinks were put when they were done. Derek bounced on his feet, excited for his to be ready. This is gonna be good. Lee chimed in with their own enthusiasm. Everybody says their smoothie-based stuff can make any drink great. Well, Cove, while quieter, looked just as eager for his smoothie. Luckily, there hadn't been anyone else before you, so there wasn't a long wait. Your group collected the fresh drinks as they were placed on the counter. Straws were placed through the opening at the top of the cup, and the first 10 of sips were had. Derek sighed in satisfaction after his taste. Mango is too delicious. Mango is good. Mine is super good too. Cove nodded and huffed in agreement, his straw still in his mouth. You were pretty happy with yours, you were regretting your choice, you thought it was only okay, you thought it wasn't as great as you expected when you picked it. This is perfect. Cool, we all made excellent choices today. Yeah. You asked if you could try Lee's smoothie, you asked if you could try Derek's smoothie, you asked if you could try Cove's smoothie. Sneakily, you wanted to steal a sip of someone's smoothie, or you didn't pay much attention. I'm gonna try to steal Cove's, even though I have the same thing. Cove, could I have a drink of yours? I'm gonna see if he says something about me having the same order. At that, Cove accidentally inhaled while he was drinking. His face was burning red from embarrassment and from the coughing that shook him. Dude, are you okay? Derek gave Cove a few pats on the back. His hacking was only starting to slow. I bet it ended up going down the wrong way. It sucks when that happens. Ebo... Lee elbowed you teasingly. The moment she got your attention, she started laughing and gesturing between you and Cove. Moments later, Cove was finally able to breathe normally. He wiped his mouth with his free hand. His gaze locked to the floor as he nervously started chewing on his straw. You could tell he was torn. He didn't seem to want to say no, but he couldn't bring himself to say yes either. Derek couldn't watch the scene anymore. Drinking his own smoothie, he pretended to be fascinated by the displays in the store your group was standing by him. Lee hadn't stopped looking over you two. You could tell that she was living for every bit of the situation. She's like, I'm living vicariously through you. Cove's unhappy stare went from Lee to Derek, all while trying shyly sipping his smoothie. You wondered if he was trying to will them to intervene. Feeling his stare, Derek peeked back at Cove. His only response offered an understanding sigh. You decided to let it go, you teased him, or you reassured him? Let's reassure him. You don't have to stress over it. I don't want it to be a big deal. With a defeated sigh, Cove delicately moved his hand, holding his drink towards you. His head was hung down the whole time. Leaning in, you took a sip. It was an especially sweet combination. Thanks. He nodded and brought his smoothie back closer to his body, but he didn't start drinking it again. You're welcome. Wait, didn't you two order the same drink? Thank you. Someone did say something about that. I want to see what he says now. Cove's gaze snapped out over your cup, searching for answers after Derek jumped back into the conversation. Love it.
Seriously?
Are you serious? I was curious if they would taste any different. Well, did they? No. That's hilarious. The finality of the statement caused Derek to chuckle and Cove to sigh with aspiration. That's hilarious. You were satisfied with that. You wanted to ask someone else to try their smoothies. Nah, we're good. Let's not cause any more trouble. As your group continued to wander the mall, you came to an area in the path that was wider. In the center of the opening was a collection of quarter-operated ride-on machines. Derek stopped as soon as he saw them smiling ear to ear. Aren't we a little big for this? I want to ride. I think we might be too big. No way, I'm not that old yet. Well, you're also shorter than the rest of us, so you could probably pull it off. He eagerly headed over to the machines, wanting to get a better look. Lee went along with it, smiling. It would be kind of cute if Lee and him got together. You thought his idea was childish, you wanted to ride too, you didn't care either way, you stayed quiet about it. We'll just stay quiet. We won't run his parade. Silently, you decided to wait and see how the scene unfolded in front of you. Reconvening around Derek, you watched as he focused on the various brightly colored rides. Most were designed to look like real vehicles, but there was also some horse-shaped ones. Horse. One of them could even seat 2 people. I like this. Lee leaned in close to you and whispered playfully while pointing at that soul machine made for a pair. You should ride that one with Cove. You agreed. She was really onto something here. I know, right? You rolled your eyes. You disagreed that was too crazy. You felt unsure. You didn't reply. Sure. I like how she thinks. That might be fun. I called the helicopter. Why? It's the coolest, and I think it moved the most. He started digging in his pockets, pulling out whatever money he had left. Wait. Is everything okay? I need 4 quarters, right? Yeah? I only have 2. There has to be more between all of us. Hold on. Pockets, wallets, and purses were checked over. Derek still had 2. Cove only had 1, and Lee ended up with the most at 3. You didn't have any. You can have mine. Thanks, but you don't have to. It's not enough for me. And even if it was, it'd be dumb to ride while you watched. Cove shrugged. He had tried, failed, and looked unsure of what to do next. Why don't we all get in one? Couldn't we exchange dollar bills for more quarters at a store? Derek slapped a hand on his cheek, eyes wide. Oh yeah, that'll work. Let's do it. The group scattered to various shops around. When you shortly reconvened at the rides, everyone had more than enough quarters. Lee got an extra set for you, so you wouldn't take no for an answer when she offered it. Jamie, are you going to join us for this little kid ride? Please. You sighed, admitting defeat. I'll do it. Yay! There was enough machines that everyone claimed one for themselves. Derek got his helicopter. Lee was happy on a horse. Cove waited to choose last. It seemed he didn't want to take a ride someone else wanted when he cared so little about it. You picked a horse too, the one that looked like a motorcycle, a single-seater car, the double-seater car by yourself, the double-seater car, and brought Cove along. Cove, you can sit with me. He gave you a bent smile and put a hand on his hip when he saw the ride you pointed out. Do you really want to try fitting me in that? You might actually be comfortable if you use it by yourself. It doesn't matter. I want to ride with you. Alright. Lee winked at the 2 of you from her pony as you squished by next to another one of the child side seats. Looks were exchanged across the way, and you each popped the coins in at the same time. The little rides fluttered to life. As the machines began moving up and down and side to side, Lee and Derek couldn't contain their laughter. Derek started waving from the window of the helicopter, and Lee reached out to see if she could touch anyone as their machine jolted closer to hers. Cove, on the other hand, just gripped the side of the car. He was struggling to remain in the seat, looking very uncomfortable. You were quickly regretting your decision to do this. You waved back. You stretched over to grab Lee's hand. You tried to encourage Cove, or you personally just sat quietly on your right. It was terrible seeing how unhappy Cove was with this. You wondered if there was any way you could make him feel better. Don't worry, we all look ridiculous on these things. Cove's concentration was broken when he automatically looked in your direction. You thought you could catch him rolling his eyes at your words. Are you worried you're going to fall off? Cove shook his head, but you felt like you were going in the right direction. I know people always talk about how tall you are, but you're not a giant. Some people are 7 feet tall. Cove looked at you, clearly fighting a smile, but his hands were still gripped the ride like his life depended on it. Okay, if you do fall, I'll jump out of this thing and make a bigger scene, I promise. That finally broke him into a laugh, and his smile remained for the rest of the ride. That's sweet. Soon all the rides came to a stop and the group dismounted. Derek looked absolutely pleased at the conclusion of this pit stop. That was cute. Then you noticed something out of the corner of your eyes. You tilted your head to look directly at it and you burst into laughter. What's funny? You turned back to your grip and nodded in the direction you were looking. Isn't that one of those machines that takes dollars and gives quarters back? The kind that exists for people who don't have quarters on hand? Everyone's head moved towards that way and saw that you were right. Derek chuckled awkwardly. That's exactly what it is. We're kind of dumb. We had to have missed that the whole time. Come on, let's just put this behind us. There's plenty of places open. We still haven't been everywhere yet. Here, here. You moved along from one stop towards the next, still jovial from the experience. That's what always happens, though. You don't end up finding stuff until after you need it, you know? Or after you don't need it anymore. Shortly into your walk, Lee ran over to a nearby trash can and tossed her smoothie cup. Derek went after her and threw his cup away. You followed suit and got rid of your empty cup, too. Cove went to the trash can last. He threw out his very full cup. So much of his drink was left that you couldn't help but wonder if he ever continued drinking it after your stunt. He'd been so focused on sipping it originally, it had to be that he was too uncomfortable to use the straw after you had. You felt bad, you thought it was cute how seriously he took the situation, you felt shy about it now, you thought he shouldn't have wasted something like that. All that smoothie went to waste, and Cove barely got to enjoy his drink before you pushed to try it. Cove must have felt your eyes on him because he met your gaze. You weren't sure if you could tell what you were thinking. Instead of calling him out about the drink, you kept it to yourself. You knew Cove well enough to guess it just made things worse. Cove smiled at you before turning back to listen to whatever Derek was trying to tell him. You're resolved not to focus on the smoothie incident. The clock inched closer to 7 p.m. as all you made your way back to the directory. It was hard to believe how fast the day went by. Where do you think your mom ended up today? We didn't see her anywhere. I don't know. She's just like that. Ooh, it's a mystery. Despite having vanished for the entire trip so far, when 7 p.m. hit, you spotted Kyra coming right over, waving cheerfully. As soon as she was close enough, she pinched Cove's cheek. Hey, baby and friends. Hi, Mom. He pushed her hand back with one hand and rubbed his cheek with the other. Did you have a good Did you have a good day, gang? Yeah. Today was awesome. We did so much. It was fun. You really enjoyed your day. You thought there was ways it could have been worse. You didn't enjoy the outing. There was no hiding your joy. Like the others, you were smiling ear for ear because today went much better than you expected. Except we feel bad about the whole smoothie thing, though. I'm glad we came here. I want to hear all about it during the ride back. She clapped her hands together at once, making sure she had everyone's undivided attention. Speaking of that, we better head out. Cliff must be missing us, and you gotta be starving. It's dinner time, and we haven't eaten yet. Yeah. Everyone followed her lead and started walking out the door to the parking lot. Something about what Kyra said felt off to you. There was tons of places to eat. It's a mall. You could have had dinner. You wondered if it was just a good guess, but you could feel your eyebrows raise when it dawned on you. She might have been keeping an eye on you after all. You weren't pleased about that. She didn't have to lie. It was actually pretty slick. You weren't sure about that. It seemed kind of sketchy. I don't know. She probably was. She was probably just keeping out of the way. If she hadn't made that comment, you would have never known. You found that hard not to be impressed. Not once could you recall even catching a glimpse of her hanging around, though now that you think about it, not seeing her ever was suspicious in itself. Shaking off those thoughts, you caught up with the others. Keeping the same seating arrangements as earlier, you all piled into the car and started heading back to the store. The drive went by without any problems as it was filled with chatter about the various things everyone saw around the mall. Soon enough, you arrived at your destination. It was a much faster trip considering this time Kira knew where she was going. Or Kyra. Probably Kyra. Hearing the light jingle of bells from the front door being open, Cliff poked his head out of the back. He lit up. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Anyways, he lit up at seeing who was there. Hey, sport. Did everyone have an adventure? Hey, Dad. At least he's being nicer to his parents now. But he is older, so, maybe that has something to do with it. We had a blast. Yes. We found the mall. The mall? Wish I could have joined. He deflated in an exaggerated way. His shoulders slooped. Kyra put a hand on his arm and smiled. There'll be other times. Are you set here? Almost. Mr. Holden sighed for real, then he pulled himself together, standing up straight. I need just a little bit more time to finish up. Will you be alright killing time for a little bit longer? It's okay. Yes, sir. No problem, Mr. Holden. We can have fun here. Excellent. What a great group of kids. He gave an approving thumbs up, and Kyra nodded along. I'll give you a hand. I remember the ropes. Why, thank you. I think she did that so we could all be alone. They walked side by side to the back room. Before he was out of sight, Cliff stopped and looked over his shoulder. If you leave the shop, don't go far. It's getting late. And then the parents were gone again. Let's go to the docks. They're right down the way. Yeah. Oh, I saw those on the way here and really wanted to check it out. Are you coming, Jamie? All right. With a smile, Cove shoved the way. Between the warm summer air and the smell of the ocean, you couldn't ask for a better night. Thanks for letting me come. Me too. Right? I'm happy we did this. Today was great. Cove, your mom and dad are really cool. Really? Totally. Cove looked at Lee oddly. He ran a hand through his hair, and then his puzzled expression cracked with a chuckle. I guess sometimes they are. You continued walking. Every so often, you would look up at the sky and see several stars poking out between the clouds. At one point, you noticed that Cove stopped while Lee and Derek kept going on ahead, busily chatting. Initially, you wondered if something was wrong, but you quickly noticed that he was still looking to be in good spirits. You decided to hang back with Cove. He gave you a quick, acknowledging look when you stopped by his side. You could taste the sea salt as you took a deep breath of the ocean air. Silently, you and Cove watched the ocean for a little while. There was something about the waves that you always found soothing. You couldn't think of a better way to end a busy day. And then it hit you. The wind chime. Oh yeah, we can give it the wind chime. This was the perfect moment. Quickly, you dug your wrapped gift out of your bag. Hey, Cove. He barely replied. Instead, his focus was mostly on lazily watching the sea. The paper wrapping crinkled as you pushed the package forward, trying to make him realize. He finally caught sight of it, and his eyebrows raised high. Gingerly, Cove accepted the gift. Just seeing the present brought a smile to Cove's face. He carefully opened it, and his whole body brightened as he recognized the chime. Oh my god. You talked about how he seemed to want it. You suggested the chime simply made you think of him. You explained that Cove had given you gifts and you wanted to give him something in return. You didn't know what to say. I really thought you were going to buy it. When you didn't, I couldn't resist. Cove's smile seemed to grow even bigger, and his blush deepened. He looked sincerely happy. You're just... He wasn't able to find the words to finish his thought. Then Cove started getting shy over his bashfulness and put a hand up to his mouth. You were so happy that buying the wind chime is the right call. I'll take such good care of it, Jamie. Thank you. It's so adorable. You're welcome. Not much time later, Derek's chipper voice caught your attention. You and Cove both turned your gaze down the pier. What are you doing there, slowpokes? Get over here. Hey, come on. You looked at Cove the same time he looked at you. You grinned and nodded your head in the direction of your friends. He gave you a small smile in return. Your footsteps echoed against the wooden planks of the dock and into the night as you ran to catch up. Oh, and that's it from all. That was a very sweet ending. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel so no envious count. And I'll see you next time for birthday. I wonder whose birthday it is. It's either going to be ours, or maybe Cove's, or Guess it could be anyone else's, but I'm guessing it's one of the main characters. But I guess it could be Elizabeth's too. Maybe. But we'll find out next time. Till then, peace out, everybody.